Fragments of Silicon. All that lies between you and the next new game.
All right, welcome to another installment of Fragments of Silicon. I'm your host Adam. Joining me as always are Golix and Petty Fan. Well, let's get to the news, such as it is. Golix, why don't you start us off this week?
Well, on Tuesday, I made some time to go to the local game store for the Digimon Booster Set 9 pre-release, and it was kind of crowded and hot, and I didn't get any cards that I wanted, but it worked, so that's good. I didn't do very well either, especially because I did not know all of the rules for pre-releases, because apparently there's still an egg space even though you don't have any eggs, and color matching doesn't matter, and both of those are kind of weird. Color matching doesn't matter for evolution.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what to make of this set because it doesn't stand well on its own.
Yeah, it's very much, it builds upon
it's
the last three.
Yeah, it's X evolution, which means that there are a lot of Digimon in it that are meant to be used with other versions of the same Digimon from other sets, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a few armors that go with other things anyway. But wasn't able to get like a whole box. I'll probably do that on like Friday or something. Although Friday, a lot of other things are coming out too, since Digimon Survive is coming out.
Woo!
And Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is coming out, and I may or may not get that one right away. And also Friday is when I'll be able to go over and pick up the copy of Live Alive that I was not able to get last Friday because the local store I prefer to get video games at, which is a local chain instead of, GameStop.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a chain, but it's not like a big national one.
Yeah. Understandable.
Was unable to get... They didn't get in enough. They got in like 6, and they had 6 pre-orders. But they said they were going to be getting in more, and I got a text earlier that... Anyway, so there will be a lot of money that I'm going to be spending on Friday. That's just how it goes sometimes. We missed stream with Mac last week because he was having car problems and needed to get a new battery, and I guess that was making it so that he wouldn't have enough sleep before we were going to do Macross, so hopefully we'll be starting that again next week. And otherwise, I've mostly been playing Legends Arceus. Oh, and they're doing a weird new thing in Pokemon Go where there's a new kind of incense that, like, only works if you're walking.
Yeah.
But you get it for free, and it's hard for me to find time in my schedule for a 15-minute walk most days.
Yeah. Well, and it could also be, like, issues for someone like me who's, I don't walk too good.
Yeah, but they want people who are doing... Like, the whole point of the game, sort of, is to walk.
Yeah.
I know you can play it without doing that, but this is one of the first mechanics that actually...
incentivizes it.
You can just not do it, but if you don't do it, you won't be able to finish the research, and you won't be able to get some of the rewards. Plus, apparently, some people have been getting, like, fucking Galarian Zapdos.
Yeah.
From it, which is something that people would probably like to have because of the Galarian legendary birds. That's the cool one.
Hilarious, because regular Zapdos was the worst of the legendary birds.
It has a good type, but its moveset isn't great.
Yeah.
You could probably do it. Can it learn Hurricane? I think it can now.
Yeah, now it can.
But for a while, it's a special attacker. It did not get any flying special attacks. And everything in its mother gets Thunderbolt and Thunder. So yeah. So I'm gonna try and do that sometime this week just to see if I can do it. Because I'm not saying that it wouldn't be a good idea for me to go for a 15-minute walk for no other reason. Just that it's not always something I can do. And I think that's all I got.
All right. Well, Petty, it's over to you.
I too am waiting for Friday to go get Digimon Survive, so that's fun. Um, uh, Sunday we had our local game store's Digimon pre-release. I also didn't do too great on that either, but we did like a little mini tournament afterwards, and I came in third, so yay. Um, and yeah, outside of that, not a whole lot big to report. Yeah, just been kind of existing.
Existing's all you do.
Apparently, yes.
Anyway, I guess it's my go. So, and once again, I guess I'm the one with the news. Smaller news this week, though. Did my follow-up doctor's appointment, and yeah, that was mostly pointless since the actual next steps um, with the cyst are happening in August.
Hmm.
But though they are apparently a bit concerned about my blood pressure, like I personally blame it on their fucking machine, as I'm like they got one of these automatic deals that really squeezes.
Yeah.
Like
There's the
that
squeeze for blood pressure. Yeah, there's the squeeze, and then there's also the fact that just the noise is incredibly grating.
yeah, but this one squeezes really fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know, but the big thing that came out of that is they want to do blood work, uh, and meet me again next month to look into that. So
Hmm.
I've got to find a lab that does such a thing. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow. Uh, and yeah, that's about it in terms of my news. So, yeah, we're doing another Let's Play session of Heaven's Vault, mainly because the guest we had lined up this week pulled out on Tuesday because they had to get up early and do a work presentation. So, we're looking to have them in October now. Hopefully that will come to pass. But in the meantime, here is more Heaven's Vault. Now,
Yup.
let's see. I don't think we have much of a direction right now.
Yeah.
Didn't we just get to a place?
Yeah, we
Uh,
got to a yeah we got back to the hometown, but you know we don't have a specific purpose. It seems more wander around and let the purpose be found currently. That's the wrong window.
so should we go check on our old friend, the shopkeep?
Yes, we should. I mean, there's not much to say here.
Yeah.
Like, I
Should we
mean,
show him
nice.
an artifact or just talk to him?
The what now?
Should we show him an artifact or just talk to him?
I'd say show him an artifact. That sounds like progress right there.
Do we
The
have anything he hasn't looked at yet?
the compass or the model made at the pre-Empire site.
Let's go with the model.
Oh.
So we showed him ours, so he'll show us his.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any inscriptions, or does it move?
Possibly.
You could ask if it moves. Yeah. I mean, I know what that is.
I'm guessing 1 or 2.
Yeah, ask about the inscriptions, I guess. You were probably supposed to do that one first.
Oh shit. Wrong button.
You want me to find where it came from?
Yeah,
Oh. Do you mean that? I don't know. I mean, it's an orrery, but the purpose of an orrery in a world that doesn't seem to have, you know, planets that orbit things is a little bit stranger.
so I guess we should show him the other thing if it'll let us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the compass.
Mm-hmm. And we did find a new site to go.
Did anyone here mention a haircut?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
Like, okay, I don't know what Eden Sim is. Going to. Like,
Oh boy. Inscriptions.
now for our favorite pastime, transliteration.
Indeed. Oh.
Stone in.
Yeah.
What's the other word?
Well, here's the thing. We don't know what the next word is. So.
Yeah, I meant what are the options for the other one?
Stone in.
Sky and peace mine.
Peace would be the most if we have the rest of it correct.
All right, let's go
Sleep
with
in
that.
peace, my friend, maybe?
That's the one that makes it a full sentence, but I do feel like we're largely guessing.
I mean, obviously. That's
I
kind of
mean,
how.
like more than usual.
I mean, it's as good as guess as any. I think.
I guess I mean we don't have any etymologically. We
We
don't have any meaningful parts of those words.
trade for the compass?
I don't know. The compass is battered, so I don't know if it'll work.
And I think we already got the inscription off that, so.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So.
I was just thinking it might work as a compass, but if it doesn't, then sure. how are things on Elbereth, or do we want to know where he gets his stuff from? About which I'm fairly certain he would be somewhat vague.
Yeah, let us find where the stuff comes from.
What's that got to do with anything?
Only to work the fields.
Are you saying your finds come from here?
Does seem to be the implication.
I can't imagine you digging your rubbish dump. Sarcastically.
But yeah, that does seem to be the axiom here. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Especially since we're talking about old artifacts.
Ah. So where on Elbereth is good for artifacts?
That might help. Of course, wouldn't you?
Uh-huh. Alternately, I want to understand the history, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that one as well.
Yeah, but we very much want to cut out the middleman.
He doesn't need to know that he is the middleman.
Mm-hmm.
Old town.
Anyway,
Alright, do we want to ask him any more, or do we want to go meander on out?
I think we're good.
let's go. Like, I think we got our direction now.
Yeah, we had a destination at least.
Yeah.
Stupid camera.
Yeah, I know. So, head out to the ship.
No, like he said,
And he did say there could be stuff to look at around here.
yeah,
Fair
he
enough.
said the artifacts come from here. Like we apparently the old town. Just we got to find where the old town is.
Also, maybe smack somebody around.
Possibly. How goes things? That was pointless.
Mm-hmm.
He's riding the rail.
I
Oh,
think you're
we haven't
faster
talked
than
to
I
him.
am, Adam.
Oh. Uh. So I guess strike the gong.
Yes.
Does the door let you enter?
I mean, I don't see a breakdancing robot that's catching fire, but sure.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, this is not going to go well. Ori.
And don't have anything to sell you.
Oh,
Does not sound good.
describe the telescope. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. Let's make this as quick as possible, I think. Before we have to use the telescope as a blunt instrument. Maybe more of an object, but. You want to hear about the telescope stand or not? Like, yeah, did you ever fix the robot I sold you?
I suppose that's a
Oh
point
no.
of curiosity.
I'm guessing that's a no.
How's your family?
Does she have one?
We'll find out. Oh.
I'm guessing not anymore.
Oh
Ooh,
boy.
what's wrong with your daughter?
That does happen, or is she?
I kind of like that does happen.
Yeah, that does happen.
Do we want to ask the obvious question of how old is she now, or
She's a
Yeah,
child.
I would say
Yeah,
how
how old
old
is
is she
she
now?
now? I feel that that is an important question. Is like, is
she's
she,
not old enough?
well, once again, are we talking 10 here or are we talking 16? So, uh-huh. That was deliberately vague. And let's ask about the gate.
A what?
Oh, yeah. So you have a foil in your arm. No, that sounds important.
Yeah. So do we want to ask about anything else, or move along?
Ask something more if there's anything to ask.
Oh, well then, that was kind of
Sounds like,
rude.
Wait, what's that other bowl?
It
yeah.
was not a whole lot of importance. I
Note
checked
to
that before I
self,
checked the gong.
bring a shank next time we come.
I mean, necklace can be used as a choking device in emergencies.
I know, she seems more like a stabber than a garroter.
So do we want to go now, or is there anywhere else we want to?
Well, I mean,
Oh, the
yeah, sound like it. That's right.
He wanted to go back to the moon where he hurt his arm.
And we kind of moored him.
We don't talk about that.
Well, I mean, we thought he was a threat to our life and liberty.
Another moon, or what other one?
That's interesting to know.
Alright, back to the gate.
Hang on. You passed somebody who might be important.
Oh.
Are you sure it wasn't the same person as before?
Yeah.
A traitor.
No, that was
Yeah,
the
that was
person
the
we were just
person we
talking
were
to, the
just
slave
talking
trader.
to.
Okay.
So I guess we can have the robot beam us up?
I guess
Sure.
if you don't want to go out the gate and try to look at try to find.
Yeah. We should probably find artifacts here. And they're probably on ground level.
I have, but it wasn't labeled.
Huh.
So we want to go meander around to the old town.
Yes.
What's this way? Ah, the slums.
Yeah, I don't think we've been here.
Stop fretting. You seem surprised.
Sure.
They gave me another robot. Well enough. Alright.
Rules are rules. We don't serve their kind here.
Jesus.
That's a Star Wars thing.
I know.
Also,
Or they don't like the robots. I think it's the robots or their eyes, though.
that would make sense. Why don't you like the robots?
Right, because why don't you like them?
Or
They
the
don't
Cyclops?
buy drinks, do they?
That's true.
You know, that's sensible.
And your
And your
real
real reason?
Their eyes.
I mean, that's what he said. That's what we said. So
Um, I'm not drinking today.
Or you, or you should let me pay for this.
I don't know, Adam. What do you think?
On the house.
This time.
This time. Sip my drink. The Rocky is made from river water. Oh no. Like burning throat, I think is going to be the least of your problems. But that's very polluted water. Skillet. Oh. See? Was worth coming here.
Here.
The first two words.
It's something short.
The
It's
first two
question
say
mark sleep and question mark here.
Yeah. Um. Acolyte.
I would say 4. Or
Uh.
or it, or if we're branching off from follow, it'd be acolyte.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Follower.
that would make sense.
Sleep hero follower.
Yeah, it's acolyte. Follower.
Aid.
Let's see.
I would guess tomorrow, but I could be wrong. What's the next one? Since the next word is very similar to me. So
You.
yeah, you would make sense.
And then tomorrow or
I guess
I
tomorrow
think
would
so.
work.
sleep here acolyte tomorrow you work.
Yeah. Something like that.
Where did you get the skillet?
Hmm.
Oh no. Uh, talk. I found moon. I'm guessing something terrible out in the cyclones.
Right. After this, we'll
Well, that
wrap
might
this
make him
up.
worry.
Huh?
After this, we got to wrap this up.
All right.
That might make him worry, but you could try it.
Easily. Oh, damn it. Uh,
I just feel bad for him. That's all.
Yeah, you have a time limit on a lot of replies.
yeah.
All right, we need to wrap this up.
Yeah. I guess we can. It should save, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So I guess play the music.
When you are in a position to play the music, yes.
Alrighty.
All right, welcome to the topic of discussion. Indeed, the reason why we started a little late because Teddy was trying some old ass games on new hardware and it didn't go well. Like, granted, not this particular one, but yes. So we are talking about Blood Omen: Legacy of Kain, specifically Blood Omen. Um, I'm trying to remember if we've done an overview of the Legacy of Kain series as a whole. I mean, that seems like the kind of thing we would have done at some point over the years. But Blood Omen: Legacy of Kain is the start of the darkness, quite literally, because this is the first game in the series. Chronologically speaking, it's complicated because time travel is involved and time travel happens within the games. You know. But I don't think there's ever like a actual game that takes place necessarily before this point, but just thinking of timelines is stress inducing. But anyway, and the thing is, though, where to start on this is a bit of a quagmire. But I suppose a good place to start is with what this game is, because it's different. It's very different from every other Legacy of Kain game that appeared afterwards. And that's not just in terms of the type of game, but the development staff on Blood Omen was different as well. That is owing up to the fact that the Blood Omen Legacy of Kain was actually the joint effort of Crystal Dynamics, and this was really the game that put Silicon Knights on the map. Not their first game, but I don't think anyone remembers anything that they put out on the PC in the early 90s. Certainly this was like the first time I had heard the name Silicon Knights. And, they're a name that, didn't go on to achieve, let's say, the level of notoriety and success under Nintendo that, say, Rare did. They were still a prominent part of Nintendo's development stable, for lack of a better term, during the GameCube era. Right. And like I said, this was the thing that really put them on the map. Probably because Blood Omen was doing some stuff that really hadn't been seen before. Like, first of all, maybe not the first attempt, but definitely one of the first more mature, like, Zelda clones I can think of. Because, people might know the Legacy of Kain games from the 3D stuff that came afterwards, but this was a top-down 2D affair. And I couldn't exactly tell you why that happened, because this game was originally released on the PlayStation.
The graphics are still pseudo 3D-ish.
Well, yeah, they're rendered in 3D, but it's all top-down. or pre-rendered, or like, they,
Yeah.
they looked like they were rendered in the late '90s kind of deal.
Mhm.
But you know, like
It
I said,
is a look.
yes. But my point is, it's a bit unusual that this started as a 2D affair, because remember, we're in the PlayStation era. This is the not the apex of it, but this is definitely where, especially on the PlayStation, where we get 3D is everything. 3D is law. 3D is what you
3D
need
is
to.
what you need to do to if you want Sony to release your game in America.
Obviously, not at that point. Bernie Stolar had fucked off to Sega by this point. Like, but it's still unusual, especially since this wasn't a legacy franchise at that point. Like, but once again, not the only notable franchise that did this back in the PlayStation era. Oddworld comes to mind as well. Like, the
Uh-huh.
first games were 2D affairs, and then the series later jumped into 3D. Like I said, you know, 2D games were still tenable at that point in time. Obviously overshadowed by 3D, but you want the apotheosis of 3D is everything, 3D is law. You need to do 3D or you're fucking dead. It's the PlayStation 2 era. Full
Mm-hmm.
stop. You know, that's when you, like, if you were a major franchise, you really needed to jump into the third dimension, or you got regulated to handhelds or something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know, because seriously, just 2D games in general on those systems, they weren't completely dead, but they were very, very uncommon at the
Mm-hmm.
best of times. So, but yeah. Anyway, this is a 2D top-down action adventure game. It's not a proper role-playing game, um, at least from the definition of what people would classify as a role-playing game. Um, they like So this has been a fiery debate that has raged since the original Legend of Zelda classified itself as an adventure game. But
Hmm.
you know, it's like this is definitely and it ranges to console RPGs, but it's more of an adventure game or an action adventure game. How even though that term is nebulous, because it doesn't have an experience system. Like, it does, you do gain things in a Zelda-like progression. In this case, it's you gotta pray at blood shrines in order to unlock new abilities. Um, and incidentally, that's the point where this game gets much less mediocre. And I know that in and of itself is a controversial statement, because there are, like, Blood Omen is as beloved as the rest of the series. Blood Omen 2 is the dark sheep of this franchise. Um, but I'm like, here's the thing. I have never thought that Blood Omen 1 was all that good. It's not terrible, but it's it's really fucking stiff and repetitive
Hmm.
compared to your typical Zelda game, or if you
I
want to
mean, it
play a
looked that way just from the freaking art style.
well, here's the thing. There are um, lore reasons for this. You're a vampire, and you look like a vampire. You look like a Count Orlok styled vampire. You're not a handsome. You're not being played by Tom Cruise here, um, or you're not sparkling in the nightlight. point is, you are a monstrous vampire and you look the part. There's arguably a ugly handsomeness to Kane, especially when you get into the voice section of the overall package, let's say. But my point is, you're a vampire. You look like a vampire. The populace knows you're a vampire, and they are going to be fucking terrified of you, or they're going to try and kill you. One of the two.
Because you look like you eat people.
And you do. Well, I guess you don't eat people. You just drain their blood, literally drain their blood. And that is an actual mechanic in the game. Like, you have a blood meter, it will tick down, and you need to feast by the very conveniently placed village people. Like, there are a lot of imprisoned village people in this game. And I'm not sure how a lot of them got there, but they are there because you need to keep up your health. If I'm recalling, I think there are items that will also refill your blood meter, like the Heart of Darkness. Like, even though Kane goes on about the Heart of Darkness, there are a lot of Heart of Darknesses in this game somehow. And that is another thing. This is one of those games where the character talks when attacking, and it is really fucking annoying because you will be hearing the words "Ve Victis" a lot. It's like, it's one of those games where, you have like 4 voice clips and they don't stop and there's no way to turn them off. Yay. Now, in the combat's nothing impressive. I will say the game gets better once you actually get into like the dungeons, solving the puzzles and having more of the powers. Because, like I said, this game really goes on the classic folklore side of the vampire mythos. It's got its own mythos, very much so. Nosgothian vampires are very much their own thing. But in terms of their powers and weaknesses, it does build into the classic vampire tropes. That is to say, he is a shapeshifter, and Kane can change into not just a bat, which is your fast travel system, by the way. He can change into a wolf, which is another thing from classic folklore. Mist.
Dracula did turn into a wolf, yes.
Yes. Mist is another one. And a human disguise. That's the point where you can actually talk to people.
I think mist form might have also been at least implied in Dracula.
Possible, but I know that's another class. That's another general vampire trope.
It doesn't show up. I mean, they did it in Symphony of the Night, but it doesn't show up that often in vampire things where you play as them because it's really rough if you give someone the power to become intangible mist. To constrain their actions appropriately without it feeling forced.
Yeah.
Either that or it's insufficient, like in friggin' Pathfinder / D&D 3rd edition, where it only gives you like DR10 magic and is like, friggin' okay. I didn't know that a Cyclops with a club could fucking annihilate mist.
Statting. But yeah, and like I said, the game definitely gets better as you go along. But I still think this game series got really good when it made the leap to 3D. Now, mind you, a lot of that had nothing to do with the development team here, because this was the only game that in the Legacy of Kain series that was worked on by Silicon Knights. Like it was the subject of a pretty nasty lawsuit actually, but that's more in the direction of the sequel Soul Reaver, which is on display here. Um, yeah, that being said, there's a lot of you know there's a lot of Zelda stuff in terms of progression and play style and secrets. Oh God, the secrets! Like people are still discovering secrets as recently as a few years ago, when like an entire section was found that was previously hidden. The near automata of its day, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, the thing is, the Kane series gameplay has not ever been its forte or what it's been renowned for. Like even the 3D vessels, um, like the Legacy of Kane series is renowned for the deeper exploration of gaming. And I think that's what really elevates it above other Zelda style games, both in the 2D space and the 3D space. And I would even include Zelda in that mix because you know Zelda does get more epic than a Mario game, but you can tell that Miyamoto has a lot of input or had a lot of input because they intentionally keep the storytelling of Zelda, individual Zelda titles, pretty simple. If we're being honest here, you know, like I said, the parameters are definitely much more than Mario, but you compare it to what's going on in Legacy of Kane series, any game, and yeah, Zelda's fucking primary school in comparison to the characterization, the storytelling, the emotions, the complexities of it all. Um, you know, you want you want a series that really emphasizes shades of gray. It's this one, though. Keep in mind, it's definitely on the blacker end of the spectrum there, as in no, there's nobody here that's all that noble, at least in this game. Like, I think that changes when you add Raziel to the mix, but once again, he's not a thing yet. Because you know, Kane himself is a genocidal bastard in his own right, especially in the first Soul Reaver game. But here he's just some minor noble who gets ambushed by a hit job, by some would-be thieves initially, and he makes a dark pact with a wizard, let's say, and he comes back as a vampire and very quickly gets his revenge multiple times over the course of the story because another thing is checkpoints are kind of few and far between, let's say. It's one of those, it's like Zelda 2. You'll be heading out from the starting crypt fairly often, and you'll be encountering the same band of bandits that killed you a lot. And Kane will remark on this every fucking time.
Now, is this like time looping shenanigans, or is it just.
That being said, like the actual plot of Blood Omen. You know what? I'm going to table that for next week.
Oh boy.
Because, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to fucking require its own topic of discussion. Because.
It may also require several pints of alcohol.
No, it might. It's just there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of factions. There's a lot of twists, turns, betrayals, and agendas. I could not possibly do it in the time we have remaining.
Fair
So
enough.
we'll leave it off there. And yeah, that will conclude things for this week on the main show. So the week ahead, we do have a new episode of Moonhawk Studios Presents happening in about 20 minutes. It is set to be the season finale. After this, we are going on break for 3 weeks, if I'm remembering correctly. Um, we are that show is coming back the same time that Fragments of Silicon is returning. Indeed, next week is our season finale, and we are set to have our good friend John Pickett of Manga Gamer. Not worried about announcing him because he's fairly steady at this point. No Friday show this week, and reviews will be back on Sunday this week. As and impressions are mixed in this time around. Coming up on the Sunday reviews, we will be having impressions of Hop Dodge, reviews of Brightstone Mysteries, Paranormal Hotel, Where Angels Cry, and Gordian Quest. So look for that then. And until next time, I shall wish you good gaming.